Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, as we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we're relaxing as per usual. I'm recording a bit later than usual, because I was watching a bit of a Squid Game, the new season, because it came out today, and, I'm watching it so I can talk to my sister about it, who very much enjoys it. It's absolutely wild so far is all I can say. I'm not going to speak about it. I'm like, if I ever speak about it, it's going to be after a while, after it's taken some time for people to digest and stuff. I will say I have seen people's reaction to it online, at least in the subreddit. People are not happy about it, which I'm surprised by, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, good evening everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow is 10:50 p.m. on Friday, June 27th, 2025. I'm just I'm chilling right now, to be honest. It's a weekend, we're relaxing, we're hopefully having a good time, we're I don't know, I don't really have anything else to say about that. Oh, you know what I can talk about? I can talk about the midnight snack I had yesterday, which was the Buldak noodles. I had the ×1 spicy version, not the ×2 spicy version. So I had, and if you want to know the colours, because I only know them by the colours, is I had the black variation. I do have a pack of the red variation, which is the ×2 spicy ones. Apparently there's a ×3 as well. I don't have that one, but still. And I had them, and I will say overall, yes, they are pretty spicy, but it's actually quite tasty. I would say. I was eating it, and I was like, damn, this is like probably some of the tastiest instant noodles I've ever had, I think. Maybe not the most, maybe, I'm not sure. But I was very much eating them and being like, yum. They are pretty spicy though. I was definitely sweating while I was eating them. I wasn't like dying in the sense that I wasn't like too hot or anything like that. Because the challenge is, well, okay, so this is the thing. As I understood it, is I thought my friends were doing it like as a challenge, and the challenge being that you're meant to eat it and you're not meant to basically imbibe any liquids while you're doing so. So no water, no milk, etc., etc. So I took the first bite and I was like, okay, I don't really need to hold myself to the standard of a challenge. Who cares, really? I will take the first bite and then I'll see how spicy it is, and then I'll figure out from there if I will continue doing the challenge, quote unquote, or not. Took the first bite and I went, this is pretty spicy, but I think I can do this without drinking any liquids. And I did. I finished off the entire pack without drinking any milk, water, etc., etc., etc. Did I drink water afterwards? Yes, I did. But that was it. It was pretty spicy. It was probably the spiciest. Is that the spiciest noodles I've ever had? I'm not even sure if that's true, which is weird. I'm trying to think, me saying that prompted something in my memory. Where I was like, I swear I've had some ultra spicy noodles once in China. Because I don't think my spice tolerance is necessarily the same as it was when I was a teenager, necessarily. I don't eat that much spicy food anymore, to be honest. It's normally when we just sort of go out. You might be like, oh, don't you love spicy food, bro? I don't love spicy food. I find it fine. It kind of depends on the situation. I think probably the way I'd put it is, well, one, ultimately, I'm not going to remember the food anyway, so it doesn't really matter how much it tastes, as long as it tastes edible. But if I'm eating something and I'm like, some other times I might eat something and I'll be like, this one might taste a bit better with just a bit of spice to it. I'm not masochistic in that way, so I'm not I don't want to eat something and be like, I want to absolutely sweat, I want my nose to be running, I want to feel hot and flushed. I want just a comfortable level of spice. And there are a lot of foods which I think, do work well with spice. Obviously, I think we'll go to Indian curries. I think a lot of them taste really good with spice. There's a lot of East Asian food I think tastes good with spice. Like mapo tofu is one immediately comes to mind. It's kind of known. It's tofu with spice. Often it's with mincemeat as well. That tastes really good with spice. I don't know. It's just random things like hot pot. That's another really good one with spice, I think. But yeah. But I wouldn't say I'm I was going to say Leviathan, that's kind of the wrong word. I wouldn't say I'm absolutely incredible at handling spice. I am definitely pretty decent though. So yeah, me eating the Buldak noodles, I was like, yeah, this is pretty hot. But in my opinion, for me, I should say, it's not unbearable. I when I was eating it, I was like, I could conceivably see myself ordering this at a restaurant. Although I think that's with a caveat that if I was ordering it at a restaurant and I didn't have any drinks or liquids, I probably would not order it. 1% chance maybe. if I was at a restaurant and I knew I had like tap water, or if I knew I had a drink to go with it, especially something milk based like a milkshake, I'd be like, okay, there's probably like a 20% chance I would order something of this level of spice. I did sort of brief it, and like, this is me giving feedback to my friends. I was like, I think this is basically one of the upper, not the literal upper echelon of how spicy I would order something, but it's probably like high enough that I'd be like, if I knew something was going to be this spicy before I ordered it, I would at least think about it considerably. I would give it good consideration before I actually ordered it, because I'm like, this is definitely like a spice level where I'm like, if I don't have a drink, it will be pretty uncomfortable, I think. But I think, you know, if I was just eating it like just as a meal, or if I was at someone's house and, you know, had access to like milk, ice cream, cream, something to sort of soothe the spiciness, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't see a reason wrong with that. Again, I would still only put it at like 20% chance I would order it, because again, as I say, it's like upper echelons of spiciness. It would be the sort of thing I'd eat and be like, okay, like, this is probably past the limit of what I find like enjoyable spiciness. It's sort of like teetering into, this is just kind of spicy, not for the sake of being spicy, but it is just kind of spicy for who knows what. Well, I mean, obviously what reason, but still. My entire, you know, opinion might change when it comes to trying the ×2 spicy, mind you, because that might be extremely spicy. But yeah, it's not the spiciest thing I've ever eaten. I'm not sure what the spiciest thing I've ever eaten is. I think it's probably a hot pot I had in Sichuan once, which is a province in China known for its spice. That was pretty spicy, from what I can recall. And I have eaten just like chili peppers on its own, which I would say is also pretty spicy. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but I have done it before. Because yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like people think because I can eat spicy food, they're like, oh, you must love eating spicy food all the time. I'd say that's not true. I'd say I like a bit of spice on some of my foods, but it's not something I always spring for. I think it really depends. Like, it's just like another like taste, right? You know, something sweet, something savory, salty, bitter, etc., etc. It's not like I put it on all my foods. So yeah. What I did find out from my friends is that there are different flavors of the spicy flavors, I suppose. So like there are, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but the one which I think interested me is like, there's one which is like a cheese flavor, because I know that's a thing which is common in like Korean instant noodles consumption. I don't know why I'm saying it so weirdly, but you like throw a slice of like processed cheese in there and you mix it together and it feels like really nice, because it adds like a level of creaminess. It sort of mellows out the spice. Cheese in general is just pretty good, but yeah, that's like, I saw there was a cheese flavor of a Buldak noodles, and I was like, that sounds like pretty good. Like I I can't imagine all of their flavors are probably to this level of spiciness. So probably if I was just like, oh, you know, I just want to like casually eat one, I'd probably eat one with lower level of spiciness. Because but what I think would be a comfortable level of spiciness would be if I can eat it and then I don't have to drink water at all, and I would be completely fine, essentially. This one, I definitely had to drink. Well, I didn't have to. I could have gone without drinking water, but I'm also like, what would be the point of that, you know? I would eat it and I'd be like, this is really spicy, and I'd just have a burning mouth for like the next hour. Which, does not really sound like that pleasant an experience. It seems a bit sort of gratuitous in my mind. I'm just like, well, why would I do that to myself when I could just, you know, the opposite, or not do that to myself? So yeah, but there's a lot of challenges of people eating it online. The main thing being that you're meant to eat it without like drinking milk, water, or whatever. So, you know, tick, I did that. That's fine. I would wager after eating that, I don't know how spicy the ×2 is. You might be like, ×2 spiciness, but you know, that's like, how do you quantify that? I suppose Scoville is also a logarithmic scale. So I think I think I probably could do the ×2 without drinking liquids. I think probably what I'd say is the times one was like, it was borderline not enjoyable without drinking liquids. Like if given the choice, I would drink a liquid. Times two, I'm wagering I can do it, but I would wager that it would not be fun to do it. I would actively only be doing it for the challenge. I'd probably not even be eating it being like, wow, this is like quite tasty. I'd probably be eating it being like, this is pretty darn spicy. Yeah. So honestly, you know, after eating it, I am pretty impressed that my friends managed to do it, knowing their spice sort of tolerance levels. Because if I found it spicy, I don't know how insanely spicy they must have found it. And you might be like, oh, you know, that's patronising or whatever. And I don't mean it in a patronising way. At the end of the day, we all have different tolerances for different things. And it just so happens that I was raised with more spicy food, probably. So I got more accustomed to it. Or maybe I was just born with a better spice tolerance. I don't know. Either way, it's whatever the mechanisms is for me being able to handle more spicy food, and some of my peers, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I'm just sort of like, I'm impressed that some of my friends could, you know, finish off an entire bowl for both of us, because that like would be pretty spicy. Mind you, they of course had like milk and stuff as well. They're not idiots, you know. They probably would have been like, okay, this is too spicy, let me have some milk or ice cream or something. But yeah, I don't think it would be something I would casually eat all the time, but it would be something if I saw the menu and I knew I had like a drink to go with it, I would be like, yeah, maybe. So it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. So if anything, though, I came up with ideas of like what my reaction would be in the previous episode, and essentially it was basically the first option, I think, the middle of the road option, where I was like, yeah, it's pretty spicy, but it's not like spicy enough to make me go ah, and it's not spicy enough to make me go, I can't taste a thing. I taste it, and it was fine. But yeah, I think the thing which I make biggest note of is the fact that it was significantly tastier than I think the average instant noodles. You know, like, I don't know, there's a nice sort of flavour to it, overpoweringly spicy flavour, mind you, as well, on top of it. So maybe it'd be even better without necessarily all that spice. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah. What else can I even say about it? I don't know. Spicy food is not like my go-to flavor. If I was to choose a flavor of that, I could be the only one that could taste it. No, sorry, what is the only one that I could taste for the rest of my life? I would probably choose savory, actually. Salty or savory, I think. Like, it wouldn't be sweet. There's no way to do bitter. Who on earth would do bitter? I think. Spicy just kind of seems like a bit of a waste, if anything. Well, waste is maybe not the right word, but it certainly seems a bit excessive, maybe how I put it. So, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst option. I would definitely choose spicy, I think, over bitter. It probably just would make most foods I eat just, like, taste like nothing, I think. But yeah. What else can I say about it? I think when I made it, I probably kept a bit too much liquid. It tells you to keep like 8 tablespoons of liquid, and I poured out to roughly 8 tablespoons, and I was like, this seems like too much liquid. So I even poured out some more. Probably like poured out to like 3 tablespoons of liquid, and I was like, this also seems like too much somehow. For some reason in my mind, I imagine Buldak as quite like a dry noodle, for whatever reason. Set to like sort of stir fry it as well, which is a bit impossible, I would say, properly. with 8 tablespoons of liquid in there, that seems like excessive. Seems basically impossible, but I don't know. That's what was requested, and you know, I was like, I'm not going to do anything crazy here. I'm not going to do something in case it turns out more spicy or less spicy than they intended it to be. I want the truest experience that is. That's about it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure definitely have had spicier noodles in China, unsurprisingly. I've also, you know, just eaten like a raw spicy chili before. Not a California Reaper or a ghost pepper or anything like that, mind you. But definitely something where I was just like, this is like pretty spicy. Probably to extend where I was like, I regret eating this just by itself. There was no reason to. But yeah, what else to say about that sort of spice level? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think if I was, there's plausible chance I would eat this like casually. I don't think this would be my go-to sort of instant ramen. If anything. But I can plausibly see me picking it up and being like, you know, I'm gonna eat this because I'm just having a day. I just need to sort of like sweat a bit, you know, something like that. Sort of thing, like as they say, like if you're stressed out, you should eat something spicy because then the only thing you'll think about will be the spiciness stress rather than everything else stress, right? So that's about it. I guess I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I guess not. I'm going to record some episodes tomorrow. It'll be July, and then we're going to have to figure out exactly how I'm going to record stuff and also play and also do D&D and also draw. But apart from that, we're going to round this episode up here, I think. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time, bye-bye for now.